Slammy versus Speedy Slam. Who will win? Slammy versus Speedy Slam. Who will win?
Okay, it sounds really nice, and then obviously, okay, all right, no offense, like,
Having missing roof. Having missing roof in the engine. Very nice details.
okay, I like the interior, it's good, and the promoter here, I mean, we already kind of saw it, but I can actually go free now. This is the engine, it's kind of,
Free trail.
sketched up. Yeah, turbos, then,
Twin turbo.
yeah,
Interior.
I think this is nice.
Very good.
2G sound effect. It's not like a screaming V12 kind of thing. Let me just stop them. It's not the same. It's still nice,
知道拍什么，最近我找了一款游戏。哎，这不用那种虚假广告的手游吧？我可不能再被延上一次了，我太惨，你知道吗？然后又在拍一支影片。哦，我大陆猎魂世界，听说动魔出开放世界了，来试试。这话题感觉很不错吧？哎，并且一株仙草，哇，还可以召唤我们飞行，真不错。除此，没想到吧，我还可以御剑飞行，来打个人面魔族试试。掉下去就该打了吗？这么狠，释放魂环，直接一道冰封将他护住。是他们双人冰封了，宝宝太大了，直接召唤昊天锤，这暴击，直接召唤水行七杀剑，这也太帅了。两大连招直接解决掉，1个字，爽。
How to get Infinity Robux in 3 minutes? You don't need to spend a penny on that.
大
Just
家好，
click the
今
link
集我哋
video,
嘅
you
主
will
題
see
係
the
香港
magic.
10大最嚴重嘅沖天大火。香港呢個城市由細漁村發展到國際大都市，背後經歷過無數嘅變遷同考驗。當中，火災係一個反覆出現嘅問題，由早期木屋區嘅無情火海，到後來高樓大廈嘅猛烈火光，每一場大火都係一劍沉重嘅教訓。燒毀嘅唔單止係建築物同財物，更係無數家庭嘅希望同生命。今集我哋會以沉重嘅心情，同大家一齊回顧一下香港最嚴重嘅10次火災，請唔好錯過。大家好，歡迎嚟到 Discovery World。我哋每日都會為各位介紹一啲世界人同事。如果仲未訂閱我哋頻道嘅觀眾，請記得訂閱以及 like、share and comment。2016年6月21號，香港牛頭角嘅淘大工業村第一座發生咗一場令人震驚嘅4級火災。呢場燒咗超過108個鐘頭嘅熊熊烈火，唔單止攞走咗2位消防員嘅寶貴生命，更加揭示咗香港喺舊區工場管理、迷你倉規管同埋前線消防安全方面嘅深層次問題。火災始於淘大工業村第一座3樓一個迷你倉單位，由於迷你倉入邊放咗好多易燃物品，加上通道狹窄、間隔密集，火勢好快就蔓延開去。面對嚴峻嘅火情，香港消防處動員咗好多人力物力嚟撲救。不過，狹窄嘅內部空間、高溫濃煙同埋唔穩定嘅結構，搞到消防員嘅撲救工作極為艱辛。佢哋要冒住生命危險，深入火場，揾火源同埋撲滅火勢。呢場火災入邊，2位後生嘅消防英雄為咗保護市民嘅生命財產安全，不幸殉職。高級消防隊長張耀升喺6月21號火災發生當日喺火場入邊進行搜救嗰陣，懷疑因為室內溫度過高同埋能見度低而迷失方向，被發現倒卧喺火場入邊，送院搶救之後證實不治。嗰陣只係得30歲，佢留低咗老婆同一個好細個嘅仔。佢嘅英勇事蹟感動咗全香港市民。消防隊目許志傑喺6月23號火勢惡化嗰陣，再次進入火場撲救，懷疑因為高溫環境導致身體唔舒服暈低，送院搶救之後都證實不治。嗰陣只係得37歲，佢嘅犧牲令香港痛失另一位盡忠職守嘅消防員。2位消防員嘅殉職震驚咗成個社會，亦都引發咗對消防員工作環境安全嘅高度關注。淘大工業村火災嘅悲劇，促使香港社會各界對好多方面進行咗深思。首先，好多舊式工業大廈嘅消防安全設施老化，部分仲俾人改建做商業用途，例如迷你倉、工作室等等。佢哋嘅消防標準同原有設計不符，潛藏巨大危機。其次，迷你倉行業喺香港好快咁發展，但相關嘅消防安全規管就嚴重滯後。迷你倉內部堆積大量貨物，而且缺乏有效嘅防火分隔，一旦發生火災，好容易造成火燒連環船嘅局面。
喺你呢度真係唔係咁簡單。大家都好準時啊！我哋開始上堂。
佢哋更加冇任何工商管理嘅合約。你覺得你需要用幾多時間？你揾翻你顧喺呢度，你嘅生意損失3個月、3年，只需要3日。喺嚟緊1年3萬嘅 AI 倍增客戶挑戰裏面，我哋 BCM 將會公開呢一套已經幫助我哋全球超過350個夥伴，令到佢哋生意不斷擴展嘅 5MS 系統。今次呢個緊急直播，我哋將會免費公開。嗱，呢一個好可能係你喺呢個經濟學同埋下突圍而出嘅機會。呢個系統已經攞到 ISO 9001。
It's me, Tarek Shiner. I'm gonna do a song called Take 5 from Dave Brubeck's
That's unrealistic for now. Okay, yes. Now. Over 100 years. Then realistic. Stuff very unrealistic right now. Over 100 years. Because of the balancing to the side. Get hyper unrealistic right now.
你發現你或者你嘅屋企人瞓覺嘅時候有鼻鼾過大、血壓高、頭暈頭痛等等嘅症狀，咁你就可能患有睡眠窒息症啦。呢個係一個血氧機，咁可以監測我哋睡眠時候咧血嘅含量同埋心跳啦。咁可以喺智能電話度睇翻個報告喎。咁呢部機咧對於睡眠嘅質素同埋獨家不自己都好有用嘅。
Alright, good morning everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic day so far. Today I'm going to be hopping on the KQ line, which is mainly known for connecting Tokyo to Haneda Airport and Yokohama. And from this line I found 3 stations that people don't really use, but each one has something pretty interesting about it. I'm currently here at Shinagawa Station, which is the second most used train station on the KQ line, and we're going to be heading over to the first station from there. The train I'm going to be taking is the one at 11:20, the Limited Express heading to KQ Kurihama. What's confusing is the place you line up is different depending on where you're going. Alright, here's the train I'm going to take. I hope I'm lining up at the right area. Wait, I don't think okay, let's just... there are cross seats over here. So yeah, these are called cross seats in Japan. But I didn't need to make any reservation or pay any additional fee to sit here. There are also no trays in an outlet. Right now I am riding the KQ line Kaisuku Tokyo, also known as Kaitoku, starting from Shinagawa and getting off at Kanazawa Hakkei. KQ is known as one of the fastest regular train lines in the Tokyo area. The Kaitoku can reach speeds of up to 120 kilometers per hour, which is pretty fast considering that most commuter trains usually top out around 130. That said, it does not hit that speed the whole time. The fastest section is between KQ Kamata and Yokohama, which we are about to enter. The next station is KQ Kamata. The station looks a bit like a fortress and is known for being one of the more complicated train stations in Tokyo. After leaving KQ Kamata, the KQ line starts to pick up speed. You might not notice it at first, but the acceleration here is pretty wild. It might not feel that fast from inside the train right now, but you'll get to see what it's like when one of these trains passes by from the platform later on. That bridge above us is for the Tsurumi line, which is known to have many interesting looking train stations. And then on the right side, we will pass by Kaketsu Sojiji Station, which is nearby the longest railroad crossing in Japan. The next station after that is Namamugi. The railroad crossing there is not as long as the one near Kaketsu Sojiji, but it is much wider with space for cars to drive across. We are now close to maximum speed. Watch how quickly this train catches up to the JR Yokosuka line. According to Wikipedia, though it is not the most reliable source, the top speed of Yokosuka line right now is about 95 kilometers per hour. So you can see KQ line catching the crap out of it. We are almost at Yokohama.
Let us know in the comment section below. I just created my own world map battle royale simulator game, but for the first time ever with all the modern countries. We'll be progressing by month starting in the year 2024. So in January there's going to be a war, in February there's going to be a war, in March there's going to be a war. Now the current size of the country involved does matter, but it's not everything. For example, if San Marino attacks Italy, Italy's not going to instantly get wiped out. In April we'll have 2 countries ally, then more wars until one country breaks apart in their own civil war, and then finally we'll have 2 countries unite every December. And then we'll go on to the next year. That's how this process is going to go. So it is January 2024. Who is the first war? Who will start WW3? I guess it's South Africa. Now we're going to see in which direction they'll be attacking. Perfect. To the northwest, or that's northeast. Fortunately, that points them in the direction of Mozambique up here. They're not going to get eliminated, but they are going to lose like half of their territory. Not really sure what they're going to do about these little dots right here they have. Here we go. February 2024. We have Honduras making a move. Now they can kind of move in a lot of different directions, but it looks like they're maybe going towards the Caribbean. And it is like a perfectly straight 90-degree line. I think they just took over all these islands right here. This is all going to be Honduras territory. And the final war for the first quarter of 2024 is San Marino. No way. I didn't think, okay, well, it doesn't really matter what direction they point in. Well, I mean, yeah, that's still going to be Italy. I swear, whenever I use an example country in the very beginning before I start the video, they always will pop up in the video in like a big way. Now to figure out how to draw these new borders. Like I said, they're not going to destroy Italy, but they definitely got a nice little blob now. Now this is going to be the first alliance in the world. We're basically just picking 2 nations at random. First we have Belarus, and they're going to be partnering up with Bangladesh, the B nations, baby. Never thought I'd see that. So they are not super far away from each other. Just going to write something on their nation so I remember they have a friend. Now alliances will actually be useful because I will have either one of these nations now punch a little bit harder when they go to war. And if for some reason Belarus or Bangladesh both go after an enemy they border, they're both going to take territory. I just realized BEL is probably not the 3 letters for Belarus. I think that's Belgium or something. I don't know. We're back to 3 more wars. Let's see what happens. It's Myanmar, pretty close to Belarus. Sorry, I meant Bangladesh. But they are not going to be attacking that team, that is. Honestly, this actually looks like they're attacking Sri Lanka. That arrow kind of looks like it's pointing down to Sri Lanka. So we're about to see a naval invasion to get this island off the coast of India, and they're wiping it all out. This is now theirs. I'm actually not surprised we're already seeing a lot of amphibious attacks. That's probably going to keep on happening. Next war has Mongolia involved. That's scary. Well, it doesn't really matter where. It's either going to be Russia or China, and it's going to be Russia. They're actually taking a part of Russia that doesn't have a lot of people. I'm going to give Mongolia a good chunk. I'll let Russia keep their big city down here because I know they really like that. I would say they do enough to protect there, but man, that Mongol horde is back now. Next up, it's the Bahamas. Uh-oh. And will they be attacking America? Yes, they are. They're going after Florida. Bahamas are like barely even represented on this map, but they will be looking a lot better after this. Okay, we're just going to assume the Bahamas secretly held like a lot of battleships and just a really strong navy to take all of Florida. We now have our first civil war. This is just going to break a country apart. Not completely, but it is going to be pretty bad news for some. Okay, well, that would make sense. Okay, so San Marino's going to go back to their little dot, and this is clearly Italians rising up because they don't want to be a part of the San Marino Empire. I'm not going to give this back to Italy, though. That wasn't really the intention. It can still go back to Italy. It might. All right, well, it's time for some wars first. Zambia, and they might become a pretty big thorn in the side of South Africa. No, they're not, actually. Zambia is actually going after Angola. They don't, however, have access to the ocean just yet, but they're getting close. Man, a lot of action happening in the Caribbean. They actually might steal some of those islands away
No, I think they're going after Mexico. They're about to take the entire Yucatan Peninsula and a little bit more. Okay, you clearly don't want to be in this part of the world. There's just a lot of action happening. Okay, we have the final war of the year. Oh, and Spain's involved. Now, Spain technically has a lot of different enemies they can go after, but of course they're going after their old rivalry, Morocco. I'm actually not surprised at all there. It is the final month of 2024, and we're now going to unite two countries. First, it is going to be Korea North Korea. I don't know why they switched it like that. So for the unifications, it's not going to be like the alliances where we just pick two random nations. We focus on one nation, and then we spin the wheel, which means, well, yeah, North Korea is uniting with China, which I don't think is super far-fetched. Let's just get rid of this border. So 2024 is ending with the Korean-Chinese union right here. So far as we enter 2025, this is what the world map looks like. Still have a lot to do. First war, once again, it's South Africa. That's weird. They like to attack in January for some reason, apparently, and they're moving north again, this time taking out completely Botswana. Sorry, Botswana. Now we have Liberia, and they're moving towards the northeast as well. Nice little blah pickup there for them. Afghanistan, they're doing something. I'm not really sure if we want to know. They're attacking Pakistan. Their attempts to unite these Stan nations. Pakistan doesn't look so good no mo. It's alliance time. Again, we haven't really been able to see the benefits of the alliances, but Bulgaria will be in this one at least, if they actually get to use the power. Bulgaria is allied to Bulgaria. No way. Okay, I'll give them another spin. I would hope they'd be allied to Moldova. Okay, well, hey, that's okay. These two places are at least pretty close. Now, I'd be very worried if I was Romania. All it's now going to take for one of these nations to attack them, and they're going to get wiped off the map. Wartime, we have Austria. Always like when the landlocked nations go to war. Austria is attacking Germany, because it doesn't matter what direction the arrow points. I'm going to be giving them pretty much all of Bavaria, too. Pretty good looking Austria, I think. Kind of weird, actually, but whatever. Honduras again. I like seeing people show back up. They actually have a large direction they can kind of go in, but they're going to move down, and they're absolutely taking out El Salvador. These guys looking pretty good now with their vacation islands and a thick part of Central America. More action in Eastern Europe, and Slovakia is going right towards kind of Ukraine a little bit. I can't even tell if this would be Ukraine or Poland, so I'm actually going to give them territory from both these guys. It is your lucky day, Slovakia. Not a big chunk out of either one, but for Slovakia, they're probably feeling good. We're on to a civil war now. It's like the only time you really don't want your country to pop up on the spinner, and it is Ethiopia. It's going right down the middle like that. Ooh, we got the Vatican. Again, this is not going to be good for Italy. There's no real point to even doing the spinner, but okay. Well, actually, there is, because this is the direction they're taking Italian lands from. I just realized that the Vatican isn't even technically included. All right, well, here they are originally, and I guess just by default, I'm just going to give them like that. Italy's having so much trouble with these city-states. Italy hasn't even popped up yet. I need to change their color because that looks too similar to Spain. There's chaos in the city-states, remember, because this one's still in a civil war. Ooh, Jamaica time. Jamaica can technically move in many different directions, and they're actually moving, they might be taking Honduras' islands, or at least some of them, that is. They might have to share. These lower Caribbean islands will now be to Jamaica. It's disputed territory, basically. Djibouti, now will they be able to take advantage of the Ethiopian Civil War? And it looks like that is exactly what they're about to do. They didn't mention this, but when an outside power is attacking a civil war nation, they're taking the whole thing over. It doesn't matter the size. I feel like that only makes sense. Have you seen the amount of military bases on Djibouti? Djibouti is a very important part of the world. A lot of trade goes through there because of the Suez Canal. Oh man, Jamaica's going again. Maybe they'll get something better than islands. I think they are. The arrow starting from their original.
There's really only been one music licensing platform that I trust to find the music I'm looking for, and here's some of the reasons why I decided to switch over to MusicBed. Their catalog just has such good music that I'm usually left with too many good options rather than not being able to find what I'm looking for, and part of that is due to how highly curated they are. There isn't a bunch of filler because it's not stock music. The roster is specifically catered for filmmakers. They're currently running a 14-day free trial. If you're a filmmaker that's looking to level up your projects and storytelling through music, now is the time to switch over to MusicBed.
from their original island. They're getting the northern part of Colombia right here. Once again, the Caribbean, craziest part on this map. All right, December 2025, we have a unification. This is where the biggest changes occur. We have Syria. Let's see who Syria is about to unite with. Possibly Iraq? No, they're moving north. That is a Syrian-Turkish union we're about to see. We got to do like something different with the names. We can't always just do, you know, the union. All right, here we go. It is now 2026. See what empires pop up here. Papua New Guinea now doing something. Will it be for Australia or Indonesia? Because that's their only, no. I was gonna say those are their only options, but I guess it's not. We're basically, once again, just gonna give them all these islands over here. Kind of places like islands, I guess. It's February. We now have Slovenia, not to be confused with Slovakia. Slovenia is taking out Croatia. Oh man, Slovenia and Slovakia looking pretty good. It's March, and it's time for Poland to maybe make it to space. Maybe not to space, but they are getting more German territory. Germany's really gonna turn back into just West Germany at this point. One more hit, and Germany's gonna get taken out. It's alliance time. Fortunately, the alliances haven't been able to do much just yet, but we're gonna see Azerbaijan, who is teaming up with Azerbaijan. It's Kosovo. What a crazy team there. Okay, these two great powers together. I hope I remember the A there. Serbia's not gonna like this. New Zealand's finally making a move. They're not left off the map, and they're not gonna be stealing islands away from Papua New Guinea. They're actually just gonna be stealing away a lot of territory from Australia. Well, they will be stealing one island. I think Tasmania's theirs. There you go, not bad, New Zealand. Oh no, Mongolia again. It's gonna be really bad for either Russia or China, and who is that? Oh yeah, Russia's definitely losing all this stuff. I tried to let them keep it, but I don't think so. You know what? They're taking the northern island of Japan too, just to make things kind of fair. What a scary forces in East Asia. Ooh, Armenia is now attacking, and I believe, is that Azerbaijan or Georgia? Oh, that is definitely Azerbaijan. The other thing I forgot to mention is when there are two similar powers like that, this is backfiring because they have the all too powerful alliance of Kosovo. Kosovo instantly destroyed Armenia overnight with all their power. Alliances have to do something here. What month are we on? Oh, we're doing another war, and it's Georgia. Oh no, this actually might really be a little bit awkward. Yeah, okay, all right, that's all right. Well, just like that, we have Azerbaijan taking over all of the Caucasus Mountain regions because again, the all too powerful Kosovo, and they had Armenian territory underneath them. Well, there you go. It's time for a civil war. Is it going to be Azerbaijan again? I actually wouldn't be surprised if something like, oh, poor Ukraine. It's not what they needed. Just straight down the country like that. Oh, Bolivia, finally something in South America. And again, another nice landlocked nation. So someone's gonna get hurt. I think that's Peru. Yes, it is. We're going to take a lot of Peruvian lands, pretty much half the country there. Got like a greater Bolivia thing going on. Panama's doing something, adding even more chaos to the Caribbean. I think they're going after Colombia. They might actually take a little bit of Jamaican lands out of this. They're gonna take that and then some. Not a bad looking Panama, I think. Now, as for Nigeria, this might be a little bit too close to home. Oh no, I thought they might be attacking Niger, but I guess not. This part of the world has some chaos in it currently. Nigeria's got a bunch of new territory from that. Here we go, one of my favorite things. We have a unification. Oh, Croatia's not even around. Sorry, Croatia. You would have had a nice unification, but you got killed. Bangladesh, they already have an ally. Now they're unifying with somebody. And now that I think about it, it is almost guaranteed to be India. Yes, it is going to be India. We are bringing back the Raj, but also I don't want to forget that they are allied to Belarus. So this is looking like a pretty fun team right here. I guess I have to change Bang because it's now Raj. There are certain powers that are definitely forming. They're looking kind of good, to say the least. And here's what the world looks like. It's been 3 years. We're now going to see wars take a lot more over. We're amping everything up. So maybe your country hasn't done much before, but now is really the time. This is where everything changes. This is where you can catch up. Is Finland going to completely eliminate Russia? No, I don't know if that's Sweden or Norway. That looks definitely more like a Norway to me. So we now have Sweden surrounded by the Finns who just eliminated Norway. They just got a bunch of oil, I'm assuming, from Norway too. Oh boy, what is Italy gonna do? What can Italy even really do in the situation that they're in? They're not even gonna worry about the city-states. I think they're kind of going after Spain here. Can finally color in the random colors that Italy has. Is it Spain or is it France? That's the question. It's definitely pointing southwest. It's more like it's west, less slightly south. I think that has to be Spain. We're having Italy take over Catalonia, as well as I'll just give them Sardinia too. We're taking that from France, whatever. Well, Italy's got to do something with all this chaos happening inside. The Bahamas once again. Uh-oh, the U.S. should be scared, or maybe not. It's not gonna be the Bahamas that are taken out. Sorry, the U.S. The Bahamas are obviously not gonna be taken out. They're getting all of Hispaniola. They're taking out Dominican Republic and Haiti for this. And the Bahamas, they just keep going. Okay, we have another alliance. The alliances aren't going to do much in the beginning, obviously, but every year that we go by, the alliances get bigger and better. So the first member of the alliance is Bolivia, and Bolivia's looking pretty okay. They did just pick up some new land. So who is going to ally to a powerful Bolivia? It's Australia. They need it because New Zealand's kind of being a little thorn on their side. So we're giving Australia the purple. Oh, wait, you also have the purple. Well, we need to change colors then. Bolivia's turning into pink, and oh, wait, but dang it, I run out of colors. Give them this like darker, wait, you're also... No, those are different colors. Those are slightly different colors. Okay, bam. They have a Bolivian alliance, which should keep them now safe from New Zealand. And now Bolivia's looking really strong because they've got an Australian friend. 3 more wars. It's May. We have Slovenia again. Wait, what is this? Slovenia is, I think, attacking San Marino, I think. Yeah, that they're definitely taking advantage of the civil war that's happening in San Marino. So in their attempts for this city-state to take revenge on Big Bad Italy, they took a bunch of Italian territory. The Italians rose up, started a civil war. Slovenia, who just took out Croatia, took advantage of that and then crossed the Adriatic Sea for a little amphibious invasion. Very nice. They're able to start building some stories here. Equatorial Guinea. What is Equatorial Guinea gonna do? They're moving down here. Maybe they feel the threat of Nigeria coming at them, but they do have new territory. Finally, France is doing something. Hopefully not surrendering. Now, there's a lot of things going on nearby France, and that, okay. If you put that arrow in the core, in the heart of the country, it actually looks like they're attacking Algeria. So they're taking back their old colonial territory of Algeria. We now got a civil war again. This always messes with countries. Oh, it's Latvia. Well, Latvia, at least, you know, you weren't doing a whole lot anyways. It's not the worst thing ever. It's gonna do that, but one of the Baltic neighbors could easily come and eat this up. And we got something from Kenya. Still a lot of places in Africa that need to consolidate, that's for sure. But unfortunately for the penguins of Madagascar, they no longer have a home, or at least they're Kenyan now. Gotta get rid of Madagascar off the list. Oh no, New Zealand again. This is super bad for Australia. Like, safe to say, or maybe Papua New Guinea. Oh no, it's just Australia. Wait a second, but Australia has, now I don't know what we do here. I did say that if you have alliance and you attack someone, it backfires. Those were nations that didn't pick up any previous territory. It was Georgia and Armenia who didn't already do something before. So yeah, that was going to backfire. But New Zealand has territory, so I don't really know what to... Maybe we flip a coin. If New Zealand had nothing and they attacked Australia with an alliance member of Bolivia, then yeah, I'd have New Zealand get wiped out. Because they were successful and they picked up land, it gives them like an extra point. All right, we're flipping a coin to see heads for Australia, tails for New Zealand. There you go, it's New Zealand. That'll be how we handle that. Now, Australia is not dead, but they're really close. Pretty much, in fact, just been banished to Perth. Now, definitely if New Zealand attacks again, they will not be safe. It's not even a coin toss. This is like a really powerful New Zealand that won twice. They're just getting wiped out. Again, more chaos in this part of the world. I'm now just realizing it's because there's a lot of small countries there. Okay, Belize, I think, is attacking Guatemala. Yeah, they're wiping out Guatemala, so Belize just got a little bit bigger. I don't even know what we're on at this point, but we're doing a union. Okay, is this going to save Germany? It is union time. Now, this would be real weird if, okay, that is definitely, I think, them uniting with Switzerland. I mean, this is, or is it? Could be Switzerland or France. We are amping up everything at this point. I think it's only fair that we amp up the unions. Okay, here we go. This is now the Franco-German Swiss Empire. As Germany began to collapse, they knew they had to do something. They were desperate, and they saw that France just conquered all of Algeria, so they're like, well, let's just join our enemy, France. France finally got their revenge for WW2. It would make sense that the Swiss joined as well, kind of, just because a lot of the Swiss country speaks French or German. The southern part speaks Italian, but no one cares about that side. They do. I'm making a joke. It is a smaller part.
喂，搭巴士嫌慢，成日停站停到暈，咁你就一定要識特快路線啦。佢哋唔係普通嘅巴士，係巴士界嘅法拉利啊！乜嘢叫特快啊？簡單嚟講，點對點，飛站，衝公路，慳時間，仲要一程過，唔使陪人遊花園嘅就係特快線啦。當然啦，快嘢通常係貴啲嘅。上次我就講咗咩係流水線啦，未睇可以喺右上角睇返。今次就講流水線嘅相反，特快線啦。特快線就取到點對點嘅走線，行快速公路、主要幹線或者行車隧道，例如干諾道西天橋、西九龍走廊、告士打道等車速限制較寬鬆嘅道路。實例包括城巴嘅張沙線798，就取到特快公路、將軍澳隧道、觀塘繞道、
大老山隧道，提供一程過嘅直達服務，客源就非常集中，唔似流水線咁有好多種客源。講下特快線嘅歷史先，自從特快路段漸漸落成，道路網絡得到改善之後，特快路線就誕生咗啦。最開頭嘅特快線就係720、722、780、781等嘅中巴東岸路線，係特別服務，更加係不設小童優惠。之後特快路線就係用 X 嚟做記號，例如8X 同2X 等。但係隨住特快線普及或者重組流水線之後，好多特快線依家都走咗個 X 字啦。九龍新界方面，九巴就以舊 14X 同 15X， 即係依家嘅215X 開始運行呢個特快路線。之後只要係途經新嘅高速公路，例如荃灣路同城門隧道，就會視為特快路線，同對岸一樣收取更高嘅車費，同埋唔設小童優惠。例子有行西九龍公路嘅269B 收20個8，行長沙灣道嘅69X 就收17個2。但係去到後尾，九巴就淨係用行車里數去安排車費，發生流水線貴過特快線嘅情景。例如11個半嘅特快線 68M 就比12個2行青山公路嘅流水線53平。之後當鐵路網絡擴大，九巴就要執生啦。例如西鐵新到紅磡之後，268B 依架尖沙咀特快即刻少咗好多人搭，最後要減班收場。巴士公司見勢頭唔啱，就開始大執路線、拆線、改行公路、搞轉車站。例如63X 本身兜到暈，2014年改行西九龍走廊飛走深水埗，終於變真特快啦。北區重組 cut 咗慢吞吞嘅 70X， 開277E 直出九龍東，快咗成半個鐘。點轉車站方便居民轉車提速，慢吞吞嘅 70X。開277E 直出九龍東，快咗成半個鐘。點轉車站方便居民轉車提速，例如呢個屯門公路轉車站，呢啲都可以咧幫助市民咧去被吸引去搭巴士嘅。青沙公路本身係諗住分流獅隧，但係點知個設計有問題，長沙灣嘅出入口係唔順嘅，加上沙田就成日塞車，初期連巴士公司都唔敢咁用啊。但係後尾政府執好個下，2015年開轉車站，之後286X 呢啲全日線。不過到依家，部分路線好似287D 咁下凡塞翻轉頭，仲慢過行獅隧嘅87C，真係陰公啦！為咗搶翻地鐵啲客，九巴同城巴都玩特快招牌，電牌特大隻字寫住 仲開 KMB Express 系列，例如286、268X。城巴仲犀利，標榜 18X 同 88X 為東西快線，早年連 App 都標東朗特快或者直閘，不過近年呢就低調咗少少啦。但係有啲線得個名，就係堂堂正正嘅假特快，例如 5X 去中環得一小段天橋快，其他同普通線係完全冇分別嘅喎。970X 呢得單向，即係出九龍嗰邊係行山道天橋，回程就照舊漫遊西營盤。特快得一半，63X 改道前要兜屏山屯門市先上公路，仲慢過搭鐵喎。最嬲就係呢啲假特快呃人，明明都唔係特快，但係又收貴啲喎，擺明搶錢啦。仲有一開特快線，原本嘅線就減班，好似 35A 因為抽車俾 35X， 搞到啲班次疏晒，居民實嘈啦。所以巴士想快，但要做到真提速先得，唔係掛個名就呃到客。青沙又好，轉車站又係好。但係塞車問題唔解決，巴士都難做啊！希望巴士公司聽多啲民意，唔好為 cut 成本搞到街坊冇車搭啦。下次見到架巴士寫特快，記得睇清楚係真快定係齋 top。多謝大家。
大家好，歡迎收睇今集嘅假日替更行程記錄。今次一開始就已經係第2支旗，事關喺我啱啱開工經過坑口厚德街時，對出就有個街客截車，個客就叫我去九龍灣氣站對面嘅長業街，跟住頭先喺企業廣場裝部行車記錄器嘅時候，又有個街客拉門，而家就車緊呢個客去油塘，個客嚟到油翠苑對面，叫我呢個位置停車俾佢。開工冇幾耐就完成咗2支旗，都算係有個好嘅開始。嚟到油塘呢度睇下邊度有客，大本營出面都有啲的士喺度等緊客。而家轉咗入嚟高駿苑入面睇下有冇柯打可以搶，但係等咗一陣附近都冇乜柯打，於是我就試下揸去油麗邨嗰邊兜下揾客，沿住高超道揸翻落嚟鯉魚門道，轉咗入嚟油塘道就係油麗邨。呢個時候喺宇宙搶到支柯打喺翻附近嘅鯉魚門廣場。停低咗想睇清楚個客嘅信息，佢話喺便利店對出上車，於是嚟到高超道呢個燈位轉咗，再轉咗就返嚟鯉魚門道，跟住轉咗就嚟到個客嘅上車位置。呢支旗係去坑口嘅富寧花園，即係喺將軍澳醫院隔離嘅一個屋苑，轉返入嚟鯉魚門道。今次都係用返將軍澳隧道入將軍澳。而家沿住鯉魚門道揸過去觀塘嘅方向，嚟到迴旋處繼續直去到觀塘游泳池對出靠住右線，跟住轉右沿住將軍澳道上斜揸去隧道。呢個時候大部分入去將軍澳嘅的士都係有客，因為清晨嘅時間仲有啲人可能玩完，又或者做完嘢返屋企。相反出去市區嘅客就少好多，所以都會見到對面有啲冇客嘅的士直接出返去市區。而家沿住寶寧路過去富寧花園，喺富寧花園呢邊嘅入口落客，過咗去醫院的士站兜一兜。呢個時候正常都唔會有客，喺呢度掉個頭，跟住就揸過去坑口站附近睇睇，跟住轉入去常寧路。今次厚德街市已經有3架的士等緊客，如果呢個位都有3架車，咁都唔使過去坑口地鐵站，直接離開坑口。今次想去下尚德邨個的士站，平時都好少會兜入去，又或者排呢個的士站。轉入去尚德邨嘅時候，已經見到一大堆的士排緊隊，粗略估計都有13、14架的士喺度。咁多的士都唔知要等到幾時，即刻都走人去過第2個位，直去嚟到富康花園。轉入嚟富康對出的士嘅等客位都有4架車，將軍澳呢邊都有好多的士揾緊客，於是都唔留喺呢邊。而家打算去埋康城嗰邊。如果連康城個情況都係咁惡劣，就直接翻出去九龍，因為過咗朝早6點鐘之後，將軍澳同康城一帶都係好難揾客。一來唔多客，二來太多的士喺度，起碼過咗9點後個情況先會唔同。入咗嚟駿盈呢邊睇一睇，呢邊都冇客要車。 於是過去領都出面睇睇，去到閘口都見到有一大堆的士喺入面，所以都係唔入去。喺商場出邊雖然冇的士，但係咁早啲客又唔會嚟呢個位等的士，於是決定直接出返去九龍，唔好喺呢一區浪費時間。經跨灣大橋過去將藍隧道，然後打算去返油塘嗰邊。今次都算係幾果斷嘅一次，因為之前嘅經驗都知道清晨呢啲時間係好難有客，反而一開工未有咁多的士，仲容易啲揾到客。嚟到油塘先去一去油麗邨，通常啲客會喺前面嘅閘口位等車，但今日就已經有2架的士等緊，於是揸過去匯景花園入面去揾客。轉咗嚟到匯景花園，呢度有1架的士，試下過去藍田其他屋苑。呢個時候接到張Uber嘅預定價錢嘅柯打，個客就喺對面啟田商場上車，掉頭接到客人。呢支旗原來係知長距離嘅單，由藍田去大埔醫院。呢個位置入大埔當然要用大老山隧道入沙田，跟住一直沿住天橋直行就可以駛入隧道。頭先喺將軍澳同康城入面都嘥咗超過20分鐘去揾客，好彩頭先決定離開將軍澳，出返嚟九龍東呢邊都唔使嘥好耐時間就有柯打，而且呢支旗都唔短，都算係一個正確嘅決定。一陣出咗隧道之後，會沿住大老山隧道公路過去吐露港公路，跟住入到大埔要轉入去大埔太和路，然後再轉入南運路，直去到富亨附近轉入荃安路，就去到大埔醫院。不過依家咁早入到大埔，都好大機會要吉車走人，因為要出街嘅人好多都未瞓醒。今朝早其實都仲係掛緊3號風球，所以天氣都仲係唔係幾好。喺空曠嘅地方都幾大風，令到有啲戶外活動都未必可以如期進行，亦都可能減少咗客量嘅原因。呢個時候都開始落起雨，嚟到呢度要揀定往大埔中心嘅行車線，靠右上橋嚟到廣福村對出，然後轉左入大埔太和路，去到第一個燈位靠右，轉右入南運路，車頭正前面見到嘅屋苑就係富亨村。過咗丁角路燈位直去，轉右入荃安路，再轉右就嚟到大埔醫院。喺呢個位落客，呢支旗行咗超過23公里，標頭唔計隧道費超過200蚊，但係Uber購埋平台費用只係俾170幾蚊，同做一支85折嘅柯打差唔多。跟住又繼續去揾客，頭先入咗嚟富蝶村呢度兜咗個圈。呢個屋邨係第2個用昆蟲名字嘅公屋，分3期興建，第1期同第2期分別喺21同24年完成，而第3期要去到2030年先至完工。同時富蝶村已經超過廣福村成為大埔最大型嘅公共屋邨，有超過7000個單位。當第3期完成後會增加到8400幾個單位。經過咗廣福村嘅市區的士站，都排滿咗3架車。於是直接離開大埔，揸過嚟吐露港公路過去白石角，只係幾分鐘嘅車程就可以由大埔揸到去。喺左邊呢個出口離開公路，跟住嚟到科進路嘅路口靠左，轉入嚟科進路呢度就係天富海灣。呢個小巴站都有的士喺度等緊，但係返嚟天富海灣嘅時候，竟然俾前面架的士喺雙白線掉頭上咗過街客。其實呢個位只係可以右轉入屋苑，而家唯有喺度等下會唔會有客喺屋苑出嚟搭車。不過好景不常，我喺倒後鏡見到有2個人喺後面企喺馬路邊一段時間，點知佢哋竟然截咗其他的士，跟住對面又有街客截咗另一部車。睇嚟呢度對我都係冇乜運，都係離開去第2度揾客，直接經吐露港公路過去沙田。過咗馬場之後就靠左轉入嚟元和路，呢個時候喺滴滴搶到支柯打喺馬鞍山嘅恒安村，所以過橋去城門河嘅另一邊去馬鞍山，嚟到橋嘅另一邊靠住左線，轉咗入大涌橋路，嚟到第1城對出嘅燈位直去， 跟住靠左上橋過嚟大老山隧道公路揸過去馬鞍山，嚟到亞公角附近靠左線唔好上橋。如果唔係又去咗大學站。根據個客嘅定位，佢嘅上車位置喺恒安村嘅村口，恒安村就喺左手邊，轉咗入去就接到客人上車。呢支旗係去茶果嶺道，都算唔錯，可以喺朝早接到支旗返出去九龍。而家沿住馬鞍山路過去大老山隧道，過咗亞公角又返嚟大老山隧道公路，喺石門附近要繼續用右邊兩條往九龍東嘅行車線，就可以用大老山隧道出返九龍。今次呢個客落車嘅一段茶果嶺道係比較近麗港城嘅氣站附近，所以一陣出咗隧道都好簡單，只需要沿住觀塘繞道喺去觀塘嘅出口離開公路落橋，就可以去到個客要落車嘅嗰段茶果嶺道。出咗隧道就沿住觀塘繞道一直行，一陣落咗客再睇下可以去邊個位去揾客。沿住觀塘繞道嚟到觀塘附近就要靠返左線，喺前面左邊出口落橋。今次要喺偉業街呢個燈位等一等轉燈，轉右入偉業街，跟住嚟到茶果嶺道呢個位落客。落咗客之後又繼續去揾客，今次又過去油麗村睇睇，過咗將藍隧道迴旋處轉咗入油塘道。嚟到油麗村出面都擺咗3架的士，而家又好似頭先咁去匯景花園，喺迴旋處轉右，再轉咗入嚟藍田匯景。呢度仲多過油麗村，有4部車喺度，唯有轉上去藍田附近睇睇。嚟到啟田呢邊啲巴士站都有的士擺喺度，然後再上去興田村，轉咗入連德道，直去就嚟到興田村。呢度都遇唔到街客，跟住就過埋去秀茂坪，直去過橋就係秀茂坪道。呢個時候打算揸過去秀茂坪商場嘅的士站，如果太多的士就去咗廁所先，沿住秀明道嚟到商場個的士站。呢度都起碼有8部的士排緊隊，所以就過去秀明道公園嘅公廁交個水費。去完廁所之後就離開秀茂坪呢區。喺藍田同秀茂坪都冇客，既然山上面都咁多的士，咁不如落返山可能會有機會。而家轉入嚟協和街，其實我打算過去翠屏村試下，再冇客就睇下要唔要去返九龍城或者啟德嗰邊，一路沿住協和街過去翠屏村。不過呢度每個燈位都要停一停。嚟到翠屏道嘅街口，見到前面有人要截車。呢個客係去 APM 商場，可能係趕時間又等唔到巴士，所以情願快少少搭的士落去。沿住協和街嚟到觀塘地鐵站嘅迴旋處轉右，跟住轉咗入去商場下面嘅的士站落客。個客俾30蚊唔使找，跟住又繼續去揾客。商場咁早都未必會有客，跟住轉咗入去巧明街入面，不過呢邊都冇客。所以就轉返出嚟鴻圖道，見到滴滴上面有張卡俾人接咗，但冇幾耐又跳返出嚟，所以向住公樂道嗰邊過去睇下有冇機會。轉入嚟牛頭角道，行咗一陣間又見返呢張柯打，於是就接嚟做。呢個客嘅位置喺公樂道嘅暮光英文書院，去到街尾靠左，轉入嚟康寧道，跟住沿住斜路過去公樂道。喺呢個街口轉咗入嚟公樂道，不過竟然呢個時候取消咗張柯打，於是繼續過去暮光英文書院。嚟到真係有人截車，呢個客話去石硤尾嘅明賢書院，正正就係頭先取消咗張柯打嘅行程。呢個客話要快，所以就問佢可唔可以行觀塘道，佢話冇問題，因為觀塘道嘅車速會比較快啲。另一條路線就係轉入去振華街，再轉落去牛頭角道出觀塘道。呢條路線係會短幾百米，所以最好問清楚個客係想點行。我都好奇問咗呢個客係唔係喺滴滴叫咗車，佢話有叫到，因為見到有的士所以就取消咗。我話俾佢知我就係你叫咗嗰一架車， 純粹想知點解取消支柯打，都冇乜其他意思。而家上橋直去太子道西，要過去石硤尾，一陣就要轉入基堤道過去大坑東，一路沿住太子道西直去，喺火車橋之前靠右，轉右入基堤道，再轉左入界限街，跟住轉右入大坑東道，過咗大坑東就去到石硤尾，直行嚟到窩仔街，轉右嚟到明賢書院落客。呢間學校門口都有好多人，應該有好多人嚟呢度考試。而家又繼續去揾客，直去偉志街兜個圈睇睇，喺度轉右入偉倫街，打算揸去南山村嘅的士站。過咗燈位直去就嚟到大坑西街，南山村嘅的士站都有4架車等緊客，見前面都有架光頭仔，所以跟住佢睇下去邊度揾客。過咗南山村直行轉入嚟又一居，但係唔跟佢咁貼，同佢拉翻遠個距離，轉埋入嚟又一居度都冇客，於是打算揸過去黃大仙竹園嗰邊去揾客。而家沿住達之路過去歌和老街，向住呢邊揸就嚟到九龍塘浸會醫院嘅附近，轉入嚟聯合道過去竹園。本來係打算去黃大仙竹園去揾客，突然嚟到呢度想轉入嚟樂富，前面橫頭磡村嘅位置都有3架的士等緊客，不過突然有客走過嚟拉門，呢個客上車就話去鑽石山，喺呢度轉落去龍翔道，但係鑽石山咁大都唔知喺邊個位，所以問清楚個客嘅位置，原來佢要去鑽石山火葬場，佢怕呢啲地方唔係好吉利。頭先經大磡道上元街轉入嚟鳳德道，嚟到虎山道轉左，跟住沿斜路上斜，過咗富山村之後就轉右嚟到火葬場落客，跟住又繼續去揾客，揸返過嚟富山村油站對面等客，睇下呢個站流動得快唔快。如果前面架的士好快有客，就喺度等一陣，等咗2分鐘到就有客嚟拉門。好似呢度嘅流動都唔錯，所以就決定喺度擺耐少少，睇下會唔會有客過嚟拉門。呢個時候見到迪迪有張柯打喺返附近上車，所以即刻接咗嚟做。個客喺返呢個位置上車，呢支旗係去尖沙咀彌敦道九龍公園華敦大廈嗰間酒樓。個客話行彩虹道出去太子道東，所以沿住虎山道揸返落嚟彩虹道，跟住就沿住彩虹道一直向新蒲崗嘅方向揸，過咗燈位靠返左線直去，右邊呢度就係黃大仙下村，我哋跟住右邊嘅啟德河直去，上橋轉落嚟太子道東，跟住用中線嚟到九龍城上橋，落橋就嚟到馬頭涌道，喺土瓜灣去尖沙咀，有時地圖會顯示喺加士居道轉入去佐敦道，再轉返入去彌敦道，但喺地圖查過經柯士甸道轉入山林道稍為短100米左右，所以要點行就視乎現場交通情況同埋個客嘅意願係點，最好交返俾個客決定，就減少好多麻煩。今次同個客溝通好會行柯士甸道去彌敦道，轉入柯士甸道，直去過左燈位轉左，再轉右入山林道。
各位網友早晨啊，我係鄺俊宇。今日係2025年7月12號禮拜六啊。今次同各位網友一齊講講香港各大最新嘅時事熱話。今日先講講最新嘅天氣情況啦。咁啊，尋日咧就全港停課，咁啊嚴陣以待，最終就一滴雨都冇。唉，咁啊講緊咧呢一個嘅丹拿斯嘅殘餘咧就應該差唔多㗎啦。不過嚟緊呢，據報有機會又打風喎。咁啊，今次呢係內地嘅中央氣象台嘅預測，係點樣嘅預測消息呢？同各位一齊講講。咁啊，另邊廂亦都講講香港各大最新嘅時事熱話。講落去之前，記得撳訂閱，免費訂閱鄺俊宇嘅頻道，睇廣告越長，係對鄺仔最大嘅支持啊！衷心多謝各位老友記。事不宜遲，先睇睇你嘅則最新消息。根據 HK 嘅最新報導，咁啊丹拿斯咧就漸遠啦，下週咧估計酷熱天色好轉㗎。咁啊內地嘅中央氣象台預測將會有1-2個嘅熱帶氣旋啦，影響中國東南部嘅海域㗎喎。我提到啦，熱帶氣旋丹拿斯嘅殘餘咧喺尋日咧晏晝係正逐漸移入廣東內陸㗎。咁啊天文台預測今日7月12號晏晝短暫時間有陽光，咁啊隨住高空反氣旋增強啦，廣東沿岸下週初至中期天色好轉，咁日間酷熱㗎，亦都有幾陣驟雨，市區最高33度。咁啊天文台就話啦，預料高空反氣旋啦會喺下週後期減弱，一個廣闊嘅低壓區會為菲律賓以東海域帶嚟不穩定嘅天氣。咁啊內地嘅中央氣象台尋日表示啊，咁啊預測本月中旬啦，咁啊西北太平洋仲會有1至2個嘅熱帶氣旋生成㗎，並可能喺今個月嘅下旬啦，咁啊影響咧中國東南部嘅海域。咁啊尋日所見啦，各大主要官方氣象機構嘅預測，不論係傳統電腦模式定還是 AI 人工智能模式咧，都有分歧㗎。咁啊天文台預測本港天色好轉啊，估計今日大致多雲，有幾陣驟雨，初時驟雨較多，同埋有狂風雷暴㗎。下午短暫時間有陽光，市區氣温 體健康啦。咁啊，另外亦都講講本地消息喎。根據 HK 嘅報導啊，咁啊先講講呢筲箕灣車禍啊。咁啊，據報呢個新嘅燈位，只不過開咗半個月啦，就出現致命意外，惹嚟爭議㗎。咁啊，嗰個嘅區議員就話係接獲居民反映加設呢個新嘅燈位㗎。今日內文提到啦，筲箕灣愛禮街與愛賢街交界，尋日晏晝7月11號發生奪命車禍，73歲嘅單車老翁遭到泥頭車輾過，當場死亡啊！咁啊，泥頭車61歲嘅男司機涉嫌危險駕駛，導致他人死亡被捕。案發現場嘅燈位啱喺6月下旬啟用㗎，只不過約半個月就發生致命意外，有街坊感到擔憂，認為呢個新嘅燈位令到過馬路變得更加危險同埋複雜㗎。咁啊，而且更為接近彎位，咁啊司機。
斗罗珠开放世界了，来玩试试。
變得更加危險同埋複雜㗎。咁啊，而且更為接近彎位，咁啊司機可以反應嘅時間係縮短㗎。街坊就話啦，我就覺得比以前更加危險啊，唔起好過起喎。咁啊，至於嗰位議員呢，就話幾年前已經接獲居民反映加裝燈位係與個別意外同呢個燈位冇關係啊。咁啊，街坊無需擔憂，就話我諗呢關燈位事嘅喎，任何情況都有機會發生車禍㗎。咁啊，當中有市民鄭先生就話啦，可能嗰個位置未加設交通燈嘅時間朋友同司機係會互相影響㗎，就 尊貴嘅郭永健議員咧就強調話，個別意外咧與燈位冇關係㗎，咁啊實際嘅車禍原因仍然需要等待警方調查。以上嚟自 HK 嘅報導，願死者安息啊！咁啊，據報尋日咧就有一個咧73歲踩單車嘅老翁喺呢度咧係被泥頭車輾過㗎。
送嘅貨物咧，就係呢個戶外地磚嘅，送一啲地磚。咁呢啲地磚咧都唔輕啊，20噸嘅。咁我哋啱啱攞完貨啦，喺呢個貨場度驗咗先，跟住出去。
Turn left and then turn right.
檢查啲文件。好啦。咁同大家介紹一下今日嘅行程啦。咁我哋今次出發嘅地點咧就係李營卡，即係我哋上次送貨到最後到達嘅目的地。咁我哋今次就係今次呢點嚟。就係叫做李營卡，大家可以去揾下呢個係一個屬於歐洲嘅。咁我哋由呢個李營卡咧去一個扎達茲啊，叫做扎達茲啊。咁啊，全長幾多公里咧？等我睇先下呢個全長幾多公里？367公里，317公里。路線係大概咁嘅，大家去。
called Fill the Fridge, and it's so satisfying because you have to fill a fridge with all these products. So you get bars and jars and, cans, all sorts of things. And you have to fit them perfectly in these drawers. It's so fun to organize these things, and it's so satisfying when you do it perfectly. Hey guys.
How to decorate your batteries. Open this app and find the template you like. Download and try it now. How to decorate your batteries. Open this app and find the template you like. Download and try it now. How to decorate your batteries. Open this app and find the template you like. Download and try it now. How to decorate your batteries. Open this app and find the template you like. Download and try it now. How to decorate your batteries. Open this app and find the template you like. Download and try it now. How to decorate your batteries. Open this app and find the template you like. Download and try it now. How to decorate your batteries. Open this app and find the template you like. Download and try it now. How to decorate your batteries. Open this app and find the template you like. Download and try it now. How to decorate your batteries. How to get free Robux in 3 minutes. 不是，原来你们的毛线才拆到甜蜜甜筒这里，那我就放心了。你看，我已经拆到了仙人掌这里，据说能拆到西瓜，就是凤毛麟角的存在了。要是能拆到珍珠贝壳，那是想都不敢想呀。你们都拆到哪？不是，原来你们的毛线才拆到甜蜜甜筒这里，那我就放心了。你看，我已经拆到了仙人掌这里，据说能拆到西瓜，就是凤毛麟角的存在了。要是能拆到珍珠贝壳，那是想都不敢想呀。你们都拆到哪里的？不是，原来你们的毛线才拆到甜。
Do this to make your first free.
To breathe me back to life.